Hi everyone, and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to show you how to crochet this absolutely fabulous blanket. I just love how this turned out. You get that chevron look in the pattern without all of the math. So there's no increasing, no decreasing, just double crochets, chains. We create these little eyelets in there. Absolutely gorgeous. For this blanket I used the mandala from Lion brand, and this colorway is Liger, I believe. I don't know if that's how you say it, but in the tutorial I am going to be using this yarn from Lion brand, and this colorway is Genie. I'm also going to be using a 6mm hook. For this blanket, I used a 5.5mm hook, so I'm going to size up a little bit and see what happens. You'll also need scissors and a yarn needle to weave in any of your ends. Alright, to start our ripple chevron style blanket, you're going to need a multiple of 10 plus 2. So chain a multiple of 10, so 10, 10, 10, 10, for as wide as you want your project to be, and then chain an extra 2. So we start with a slip knot on our hook and our foundation chain row. Multiple of 10 plus 2. Alright, so I have just chained 30, which is my multiple of 10. I'm going to chain an extra 2. Now we're going to do a double crochet in the third chain from hook. So just pop a double crochet into the third chain from hook and a double crochet into the next 3. At this point we're going to skip 2 chains on the bottom, and we're going to do a double crochet into the next 4. And that has kind of created our little dip. For the next section, so this is our little peak, we're at the top of our peak, we're going to chain 2. Do not skip any down here, and just work a double crochet into the next 4. Alright, so you can kind of see you've got this little valley down here and then a peak up here. So anytime you are chaining up here, you do not skip anything down here. When you skip down here, you do not chain up here. So we want to alternate this. So because we just did a peak where we chain 2 at the top, the next section we are going to do a dip, which is skipping 2 on the bottom. So skip the next 2 stitches and put a double crochet into the next 4 stitches. You can kind of see how it's going up and down a little bit. Alright, so because we skipped down here, our next little peak, we need to chain 2. Do not skip anything, just go directly into the next stitch, do a double crochet, and then a double crochet into the next 3. Alright, so because we chained 2 at the top here, we are going to skip the next 2. So 1, 2, put a double crochet into the next stitch, and you should have 3 stitches left. So go ahead and put a double crochet into the last 3. And we're going to go ahead and put an extra double crochet into that last stitch. So you'll always have, on each end, you'll always have 5 double crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then there's our chain 3 for 5. But in between, you'll just have the 4. So the next row, we're going to chain 2. Alright, so chain 2, turn our work. We're going to put a double crochet right back into that same stitch that we chained out of, and that will give us our 2 on the end. And then we're going to double crochet into the next 3. So do not double crochet into this last one, this 4th one, just the next 3. So go right into the tops of those chains and do a double crochet next 3 stitches. Now we're going to skip the next 2. So you're going to skip these 2 double crochets. So those 2 chains right there. And then you're going to work double crochet into the next. And a double crochet into the next. And into the next. Now we're back at our peak. So what we're going to do is we're going to double crochet right into this space. Chain 2 and double crochet right back into that space. So on your peaks, you will be working directly into the chain 2 space from the previous rows. On your little valleys, or the dips, you're going to be skipping the top 2 double crochets that are nearest to that little eyelet, and then continuing to work your double crochets along. So we're going to work double crochets into the next 3, and we're back at a dip, so we want to skip those 2 and then work a double crochet into the next. And into the next. And into the next. We're back at a peak, so we're going to do a double crochet into that space, chain 2, double crochet right back into that space. A double crochet into the next 3. You should always have 4 double crochets. So this one counts that you've put into that eyelet there, that chain 2 space. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Now we need to skip these 2, and we're going to work a double crochet all along, and then putting an extra one. We always want to work 2 double crochets into the ends. Next row is the same as the previous row. Chain 2, turn your work, double crochet into the top of the same place where you chained out of, and double crochet into the next 3. We're going to skip 2, 1, 2, double crochet into the next, double crochet into the next, double crochet into the next. Now we're back at our chain 2 space, so we're going to put a double crochet into that chain 2 space, chain 2, double crochet right back into that space, double crochet into the next stitch, into the next stitch, double crochet into the next stitch. We're at our little dip now. So we skip the 2, 1, 2, double crochet into the next 3. Double crochet into that space, chain 2, double crochet into that space. Directly into the next we're going to double crochet and into the next 2 stitches. Skip 2 and double crochet into the next. Into the next, double crochet. You double crochet into the last. You want to have 5, so do an extra double crochet into that last stitch. Chain 2, turn your work, and do it all over again. You can see where it's starting to do the little ripple effect. Double crochet into the top of the chain 2 stitch that you worked out of, and into the next 3. Just pop 1 double crochet into each of those stitches. Skip 2, do a double crochet into the next 3. We're back here. So put a double crochet into that chain 2 space, chain 2, and another double crochet into that same space. So that's the pattern. You want to make sure that you have 4 double crochets. When you get to a chain 2 space, you always want to put a double crochet, which counts as one of your 4, into that space, chain 2, and another double crochet into that same space, and that double crochet will count as your 4 here. When you get to a dip, you're going to skip the bottom 2 stitches. So over here we'll skip those bottom 2, and you just alternate that. You go from skipping 2, chaining 2 at the top, skipping 2 at the bottom, chaining 2 at the top. There's no finishing row, so you just work this for as tall as you want your project to be, and fasten off, and you have a blanket or a scarf or whatever it is you're making. And this is a beautiful, beautiful pattern. A quick and easy pattern, perfect for baby blankets, larger blankets. It gives you a ripple stitch. If you use a self-striping yarn, you don't have to worry about changing colors, but this also looks really amazing using solid colors or changing colors every few rows. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please be sure to leave a like and subscribe to my channel so you don't miss out on any of my future crochet, knitting, Tunisian crochet, or other fiber art videos. Until next time, bye!